Good morning, all. It's author Parker Sinclair here to read Chapter 2 from my YA epic fantasy, Eve of the Exceptionals. This chapter is called Destiny. Let's get started. Down on the ground, thief! The guards are almost upon him, but Ryzen stands firm, refusing to hit the floor. His face remains turned toward the girl who has just fled to freedom on the back of her magical cat. Gem, her hair light brown and short like a woodland pixie, large golden eyes with specks of turquoise as though chipped directly from the Nimbrek desert stone, eyes that he lost himself in more than once during their 2 short run-ins. The last words they had spoke to each other felt like a spell creating a link between them. This must be what his older cousin Rainier spoke of, but Ryzen's 15-year-old self never cared about what in the world he was talking about, until now. What is he thinking? His father will send him to horsecrap duty for a year for this. Worse, he'll send him to latrine duty for 2 years. Don't let him move a muscle, Commander Kendrick's thundering voice booms through the hall as he leads the charge. Ryzen has a sliver of hope that he'll go easy on him, but it is merely a sliver. Kendrick has a habit of kicking his butt to the Denon Woods and back during training and not caring the least about Ryzen's rank. What do we have here, Zent? Looks like a scrawny bag of bones to me. Great, Ryzen thinks. Here we go. Kendrick is already taking aim. No doubt he knows it's Ryzen. The seasoned fighter might have some missing body parts, but Ryzen would swear he can see in the dark, fight better than with just one leg than boys half his age, and plain scares the pants off you with one look from his scar-ridden face. It's me, Kendrick, or can't you tell with your older-than-dirt eyes? Ryzen's jab at Kendrick triggers a mighty guffaw in the hall. Maybe this will be good after all. Ryzen shoves the item the girl had risked her life for into the hidden compartment of his quiver. He will play the oblivious card. And what are you doing up so late, baby prince? Isn't it past your bedtime? He is right, of course. Normally Ryzen is fast asleep well before the after midnight hours. Days filled with training in all things from riding, archery, swordsmanship, and combat, followed by a full meal and bath, barely leaves moments to read by the fairy light before his eyelids fall like the petals of the kingdom's famed day rose. I said, what in all Parleethes is going on, Ryzen? You made quite a ruckus, wee lad. Speak now, or I'll haul you to the dungeons myself. Now, yes, most people would have made an audible gulp under Kendrick's bulging, enraged face, but Kendrick threatens Ryzen with the dungeons nearly every day. So instead, they both begin to laugh, while the rest of the men lower their weapons. Little Sonny, my son is changing on me. Hold on. Didn't get you this time either, did I, boy? Not in the least, old man. Maybe you need to pick a new place to toss me into. The marshes of Yetley, maybe? Now that place scares me. The smell, oh, the smell. They all laugh out loud, and one of the men yells out that his buddy Yan smells just as bad, so perhaps the prince should be tossed into his quarters. Enough! Darkness sweeps through the hall, leaving only a brightly glowing form that makes Ryzen shield his eyes. Not this again. Didn't Gem cease the light from the bright object? No, it isn't the same. This is Alden, the king's wizard and high council member. Ryzen tries to see if the desert gypsy girl is standing anywhere near the wizard, but everyone except the shining mage remains plunged into darkness. Yet Ryzen knows she has escaped. He doesn't know how he knows, only that it doesn't matter at the moment. A howl echoes in the halls, and Ryzen grins as Shaw comes running up to him. The wolf has been attached to his side since he was a pup. Shaw had been passed out sleeping soundly with the other castle animals in the courtyard while the prince crept out. There was no thought to wake him. Shaw is still a pup after all, and Ryzen had chosen discretion after spotting Gem scaling the side of the castle, her owl circling overhead. Shaw's dark brown head nudges the boy's hand, and the young prince feels secure knowing they are together. 6 months ago, the bedeviled pup waddling toward the prince, passing a witch's curse to him with a bite while he sat sharpening his knives in the field bordering the Tangier woods. The boy had survived the curse long enough to ride home and seek Alden's assistance, his horse carrying both the pup and the barely conscious Ryzen back to the castle. Alden had saved both their lives that day. No one wanted the doomsday creature among them, but the mage had made it possible for them to stay together by telling the king that one could not survive without the other, and so their fates are forever intertwined. Alden had given Ryzen a rare wink that day. Had the wizard made the tale up, or were he and Shaw truly not one without the other? Either way, from that day forward he trusted Aldon with his life. They aren't exactly friends. He's a bit too formidable and intimidating for that. But Alden is loyal to the kingdom, to the king. Without a doubt, Alden will find what happened about what Ryzen had done. There's no way the mage will cover for him, not when the kingdom has been compromised and thieved. Shaw nudges him again, sensing Ryzen's growing worry. Is the boy's signal to get a hold of himself, or his oozing panic will be a dead giveaway? Maybe Alden won't be able to save him this time, but why does he even know? Why does he even need to know he needs saving? The sacred enchanted heart of Cyan has been found! Alden's voice consumes the hall. It ricochets off the walls, carrying up into the beams and rattling the glass windows in their stone and wooden encasements. Ordinarily, still figures woven into the hanging tapestries are carefully and precisely brushed upon parchment, appear to tremble under the old man's thundering words. Whoever is the keeper of such a sought-after and exceptional object shall bring it henceforth to meet your new destiny. All eyes fall on Ryzen, except Kendrick's, whose eyes are closed, his head shaking in disbelief. The giant commander's chest leaps while he tries mightily to keep his chuckling at bay. Shaw's large, furry head looks around the hall, his keen hearing following the booming voice as it bounces off the walls. He is brave, but still young and full of unease in a world that was never meant to be his own. Most young wolves that are sent to curse another die as a result. Ryzen's hand finds the wolf's head and rubs his ears in an attempt to ease the noise ricocheting into his friend's eardrums. Kendrick only laughs harder at the boy prince and his pup. No one in my service can make such a claim on this night, and I, as much as hate to admit it, believe the toddling prince may be your destiny holder this fine and confounding evening. Doomed, I say! We're all doomed! Kendrick signals his men, and they march in unison from the hall. One soldier takes a shot at another in the back of the line. Yan, Ryzen reasons, arguing with his pal that he swears he bathes once a week. Ryzen's laughter, following after the jesting soldiers, is cut short when he turns and finds himself face to beard with the mesmerizing Alden. With a movement faster than the young prince thought possible from the old wizard, he reaches into Ryzen's hidden pocket and yanks the heart from within the bag. The now empty velvet fabric falls to the floor just as a gulp forms in the boy's throat. Open your hand, young prince. Ryzen obeys, and a velvety, deep cobalt blue gem falls into his palm. The many facets of the triangular stone may be responsible for its fiery glow, though powerful magic is also radiating from its core. The gem gives off a slight heat and quickly subsides. Looking at Alden, it's obvious that the heart has a peculiar effect on the wizard. Its steam rises from his ancient palm where the gem singed his flesh, but he does not flinch, instead meeting Ryzen's eyes calmly. Why isn't it burning me as it does you, Alden? Tall man places his hand on Ryzen's shoulder, and the boy's eyes follow the movement instinctively. The heart only claims one true master, Prince Ryzen. There is only one meant to recover the heart and lead the realm into a new period of peace and harmony. Ryzen is confused. His father has been the bearer of peace in the kingdom and across the lands of Parleathes for decades. Songs are sung about him, and stories woven into cultures across the lands, even to places farther than Ryzen has ever traveled. But my father, he has brought peace. He should wield the gem. I never said the time would start now. However, when it comes, and it will come, we will all be faced with a darkness that will meet its match in you, the kingdom's savior. Ryzen takes a huge gulp of air, holding down his fear as well as his dinner. Gem is the one who found the heart. Could she be the rightful holder of its power and its responsibility? Ryzen has to speak up. He must. But what will they do to Gem? Would the fact that she found the heart matter to them once they realized she broke into the castle to steal it? Besides, didn't the heart choose him? Alden himself knows it can only have one true owner, and that is Ryzen. The young prince continues his internal struggle while Shaw paces around him, the wolf sensing the gem's magic within Ryzen's closed hand. Alden is deep in thought. His excitement, though it would barely be noticeable to others, is obvious to Ryzen. Thankfully, it has kept the wizard from sensing Ryzen's turmoil or from asking him how he came by the heart in the first place. I can teach you to tap into the gem's power from here, but in order to fully unlock the secrets deep within the heart of Cyan, we need to venture out, my boy. You'll have to leave the comforts of your father's home in due time, of course. Once we have done all we can here, you and the wolf will accompany across the lands. Our final destination will be the small southern island of Cyan itself, where the gem was given birth. Ryzen's head is spinning, his whole life realigning itself, all because of this stone. And that he will, Alden. The king, Ryzen's father, is never far behind the news of his kingdom, let alone his own castle. His eyes are full of light and happiness as they fall upon Ryzen. His only sister Evelyn beams at him as well. His cousin Rainier, the nearest person to a brother the prince has, is absent, off adventuring as always, only coming home to replenish supplies and rest his sore, tired bones. Shaw runs to Evelyn immediately, causing a small scene by knocking her over and nuzzling at her sleeping gown in search of treats. Ryzen looks around, feeling the pride and love from his family, from Alden, and blooming within himself. The heart is his destiny. Alden hands him the velvet bag, and after returning the gem to its soft, safe home, he places it in his pocket. As he withdraws his hand, he feels a tickle of thread upon his fingertips. He knows without having to look that it's the thread from Gem's arrow, the one that led the mysterious girl to the heart of Cyan. That is the end of Chapter 2 in my book, Eve of the Exceptionals. Lots of adventure and fantasy, magic. Chapter 3 is command. And what I try to do in this book to appeal to all readers for middle school and young adult is I have from Ryzen's point of view and from Gem's point of view. So you'll get to see her again. She's not gone. Oh, I do have my little fen ring here too. Look at that. So I hope you're enjoying the readings. I will continue Chapter 3 here in the next few weeks. Once again, author Parker Sinclair. Check me out on Instagram, Facebook, on Twitter, at author Parker Sinclair, or on my website, parkersinclair.net. And if you have any younger kiddos, I also write children's books under my pen name, Samantha Shannon. This is Jake the Growling Dog series. And if you have some older fantasy lovers that are into new adult paranormal romance, I also have my Alex Connor Chronicle series, which there are 4 books. This is book 1, which is only 99 cents, always. I actually have it free at the end of this month for Black Friday. So lots of other books, but just focusing on Eve right now. Suits upside down. So have a wonderful week. Love you all. Author Parker Sinclair. See you soon. Bye-bye.